Years ago, I replaced the 85-gallon water heater in my house with a tankless unit, obviously because it's much more efficient, produces hot water a lot faster, and does not take up so much space. Now, unfortunately, after 6 years of use, my unit has gone bad, so I need to go ahead and replace it. Now, where I live in Florida, we don't have gas lines, nor do I have like tanks set up, so mine is fully electrical, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how you can replace that. Obviously, my setup being a little bit easier just because of the fact that I already had the electrical component of this setup in my house. If you've never seen one of these before, it's actually a really simple thing. So this is your inlet hose. Here inside there's an impeller that spins as the water flows. There's a hall sensor here that can detect that spinning, right? The water will flow up. You have one thermocouple and another one, right, measuring the temperature difference. So what's going to happen is when you send water up, because you're demanding water through opening the hot water on one of your faucets, then it's going to flow through here. This is going to detect motion, send that up to the controller. Controller is going to ignite the heating elements, which are the two major cylinders in the center. They each have a heating element inside of it, which is what the fat red wires going to the top are for. Those heating elements will heat the water, and then it'll come out through the outlet and go up into your house's hot water supply. Very simple. Now, if you've not installed one of these in your house before, the most complicated part is going to be that you have to put in two breakers. This runs off two breakers, 240 amp breakers, and you have to obviously run the correct gauge cable all the way up to it. I am not going to show you how to do that. You should have an electrical contractor or electrician do that for you. In my case, my father is an electrical contractor, so we've already done this. And if you obviously already had one installed prior, then this is going to be very easy for you to do. All we've got to do is remove this unit and put in the new one. So let's go ahead and start doing that. First thing I'm going to do is turn off the power at the breakers. Now, next step is to undo these power wires coming from breakers. That's a flathead. Then you're going to use a Phillips head to undo the grounds. So, got a flathead here. Right. Pop these up. Phillips head. Give you the grounds. Pop these up. Now, you're going to want to take this fitting off of here. I already loosened it, but if it was on tight, you take a flathead screwdriver and a hammer and you just tap it. Right, now with that undone, the electrical components are off. You got to undo the plumbing section. Alright, so as far as the plumbing goes, first you want to shut off the water. So this is the inlet, this is the outlet. But actually, before I shut this off, I'm going to go open one of my hot water faucets, let this kind of drain out as much as possible, then I'll shut it. You're still going to have some leakage when you undo the lines, but that's what the bucket is for. Now, having done that and with my valve shut, this is bucket time. So, got my trusty bucket right here, set it up under. For this inlet line, I can leave the bucket down here and it's fine. For this outlet line, it has this like heat sleeve on it. It's probably going to flow down the sleeve and come out over here. So I'm going to move my bucket over there when I do that. So let's do the inlet line first. Once you've loosened it a few turns, it should come out by hand. Yep, water's flowing exactly where I figured it would. So let that drain for a little bit. There we go. Let's undo the other line. Alright, so I figure this will leak around here. Yep, pretty much. Wish they would make these fittings shorter so you wouldn't have to spin this so much. It'd be less of a pain in the rear to do, especially with the washing machine in the way. Alright, drain this. Done. Alright, let's pop this guy off the wall. There are 4 screws, one in each corner holding this thing on the wall. Again, if you've never done this before, you're going to want to find your studs, and you're also going to want to, because this is probably not going to line up perfectly so you can hit 2 sets of studs, you're going to want some wall anchors, which was the case here. I got studs on the left, I got wall anchor on the right. Honestly, the studs are doing most of the heavy lifting, and the wall anchors I have are rated for 80 pounds each, so they can more than handle this either way. So all I've got to do is loosen them. Obviously, if you don't have any, you've got to put them in the first place. But obviously, if you had a tankless unit, then you should have something holding it to the wall. All right, now let me straighten my wire so I can take the little threaded nut out and drop the wires. Okay, lift the unit up and off the wall. Let's go put in the new unit now. In my case, because I am in fact putting in the same exact unit, like model that I had prior, installation is literally the reverse of removal, and realistically, if you had a tankless, it should be very similar, outside of, you know, maybe you having to put in some screws into your studs and such, or if you obviously again had to run the electrical for the breakers because you didn't have a tankless prior. So let's go ahead and just pop in the new one, and I'll show you that process real quick. Alright, first we want to go ahead and take this guy apart. So there's 2 screws here on the bottom, right? Flip it over to the top, there will be another 2 screws. You want to take all that off in order to take the cover out. By the way, those screws are not magnetic. They are some kind of stainless that's not magnetic, so you want to do it over a surface because they're not going to stick. So first thing I noticed, water came out of there. Now that could mean that they test it before they sell it, or it could be that this was used, but I don't think so because the packaging was all new and it didn't have any signs of having been opened. So let's hope that that is a sign of them testing. Now I do like to leave mine at about 120 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just because it gives me a nice mix ratio when I'm mixing upstairs, right? Like at the hottest, it's hot, but it's not crazy. Like it won't kill you. This can go way higher than that and boil a lobster. You do not want to do that. The first time I installed this, I found that out the hard way. So definitely 120 is a good starting point. You can start even lower than that just to be safe and then see how you feel. Now I'm trying to remember if this even goes lower than 120. It might not. But yeah, I like to leave it there. That's the setting that works for me. So all I got to do now is put on the cover and then the knob, and we're all done with this. So cover, as I said, 2 screws up top, 2 screws on the bottom, and you're done. So there you have it. The water heater has been installed for a couple weeks now and we've been enjoying it. I've cranked down the temperature only because it's getting so hot here in Florida that really I'm taking colder and colder showers, so I didn't have a need to be able to get it as warm. But other than that, it's been performing perfectly. Right now it's on, as you can see, because hot water is being drawn, and it's being drawn by my washing machine directly underneath it. Only thing that's left to do really is to install these guys. Now these guys are flush valves that are going to allow me to seal off the input and output lines from the house and just flush vinegar through the water heater itself, thereby eliminating any corrosion buildup inside of it and extending its lifespan, hopefully beyond the 6 years that my last one lasted. Only thing I have to do in order to make this work is I have to get lines that have male ends, because the lines I have female ends. So that's something that I have to go out and buy a pair of those hoses, and then this should all function pretty well. Probably going to connect the line off of here just so if I do purge, I can control where that goes without too much difficulty. Easily just route it into a bucket. So there you have it, a quick and easy house upgrade video. This was filmed at like 10 plus p.m. on a weeknight, so I was pretty exhausted at the time that I did it. So pardon me if there are any inconsistencies here, but you know, always working on stuff on the house. If you like these kind of videos, there'll be more as different needs arise in my household. Feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're notified when I post up another one. If you have any questions, feel free to put that into the comment section. And as always, thank you guys for watching.